Good morning, guys. Today I've decided that I won't film another expert video about tips on social media, personal branding, whatsoever, but I want to get closer with you. I want to tell you more about my personal background. So in this video, I will tell you more about the backstory, how I came into social media, how I generally came to where I am now, and what are all of the things that I went through, that I was doing, so that I basically achieve what I've achieved now. And I think it's a really nice time to get to know each other, so let's just do it. So as you already know, my name is Alisa. I come from Russia, from not a small city. I would say it's relatively big. We have more than 1 million citizens there, but it is an industrial city. So my whole life, my parents took me on different vacations outside of Russia, so to Europe, to the US, in a lot of different places. And what I learned about that is that there is basically life outside of Russia. So when I was in school, in the last 2 years before I graduated, I decided to go one step further and to move to Europe, which was not very typical. So not a lot of people in Russia do that, mostly because they don't even think that it's possible. They do not have so much means to maybe travel and to see the world. Because of this traveling experience that I had, I knew that there are other possibilities, and I just knew that I needed to work hard for that. So I've learned German in 2.5 years before I finished my school to apply to Germany, to the university here, which is LMU. This is one of the top universities in Germany, and I'm very sorry for the light that is constantly changing. In 2020, 1 month before COVID started, I moved to Germany. I firstly have graduated from the so-called Studienkolleg. It's basically a school for all of the nationalities whose diploma from school is not enough here in Germany. So these are mostly countries where you maybe do not have 12, 13 years of school, but in my case we have only 11. So I needed to study 1 year in this Studienkolleg before I have applied to the university, and now I'm in the 6th semester of my bachelor in politics and communication studies. As an immigrant, it's definitely not easy to move to another country and to pursue your goals, to pursue your dreams. You need to work twice or even 3 times as harder as other people do, but this is also why I definitely know that if I've achieved that, then you can definitely do it too. So never give up on your dreams, always believe in yourself. How I came in social media was basically at that time, I think I was around 16, 17. I've seen a lot of bloggers on Instagram who had a lot of followers. It was the time when Instagram was a very easy entry, so you could have posted basically anything and probably get a lot of followers. So I've decided to just do that, and I had my Russian account back then. It was pretty successful. I mean, I had somewhat around 8,000 followers there, and I've done some cooperations with some brands. But after I moved to Germany, I decided to close it because it didn't make any sense to post in Russian anymore. Created the account I have now, and it was also a pretty turbulent times. I was a fashion blogger at some point, I was a fitness blogger at some point, and only recently, pretty recently, I would say less than 1 year ago, I decided that I want just to stick to this social media content creation topic, and I want just to talk about that on my page. But now it's more or less a personal blog because I have other social media channels to talk about social media. So yeah, this is what I told you about, always making sure that a platform serves a specific goal, and for me Instagram does not really serve any goal anymore. But this is not the topic of the video. So I've tried everything from YouTube. I also had a couple of accounts in Russian there. I've also tried podcasting as a co-host, and I've tried of course various other social media platforms. So when I moved to Germany, of course I needed to start it from scratch basically, so not just in my basic personal life, because I didn't have anyone here. My family didn't move with me, but also because I have started from scratch when it comes to social media. So I've created new accounts in English and tried to grow them. But back then, my only goal was basically to become an influencer, to have a lot of followers, to have a lot of brand collaborations. This is what I was, truly wanting. And I think it's quite fine. I mean, when you look at all of these like influencers on social media, of course, you also have this idea, yeah, I also want to be an influencer. I also want to go on brand trips. I also want to get a lot of like packages and stuff. It took so much time away from me, from building something more meaningful. I don't mean that influencing is not meaningful, but just for myself and for my purposes, it was like I wasn't clear on my end goal, and this is why I wasn't clear which route should I take. And now, as I'm very clear that I have my like business goals, I have my personal goals, I know that being an influencer is not really like, it's not really serving it. Before I started to study in the university, I've tried to look for like student jobs, of course, because you need to make money, especially here in Munich. Like everything is super expensive, and I've got my first job in social media in a beauty company. So I was like in the social media sphere there. I was making reels, I was modeling for reels, I was also searching the content of competitors, writing the ideas down. So I was basically 1 year long almost in this like very creative part of social media. And after that I moved to another company, which is a bank. And funny thing, the bank also has social media. I don't know, like I've never actually thought about that. So our bank also has social media channels, and now I'm still working there as a student. So I work like part-time, 20 hours a week. So I'm mostly doing everything that is around like LinkedIn, employee advocacy, so helping our employees to create good presence on LinkedIn, to enhance their profiles. Basically something like that. But also, of course, I help with like the strategy, the visuals, the everything that comes on our own LinkedIn channel. As you can already hear, I am on the one hand in social media through my like long experience as a blogger / influencer myself that time. So it's almost, I think, 6-7 years already. I am also in social media from like the brand's perspective, because I worked for 2 brands in very different spheres. And finally, 2 years ago, I've started UGC. So I've made a video about that, and UGC at that time was super interesting for me. It was super funny to create content, to work with brands. I thought that I found like the new hobby, the new passion, but at some point of time I just didn't have enough time to be active, to pitch myself to brands. And this is why I basically at some point turned all of my social media accounts into the accounts where brands can discover me as a content creator, as a UGC creator. And this is how I think this idea was born, that I'm not a blogger anymore, I'm not an influencer anymore. I want to position myself more as an expert in content creation and personal branding, storytelling, social media. So this is like this third wheel of my life right now, and this is how my business was born. So I decided to basically switch from being a UGC creator or being a content creator to helping other people to become them. And this is like one of the things that I do with the video course. I'm currently remaking it, rethinking it. I'm adding a couple of new models, so I'll definitely let you know when it will be. Thanks. I'll definitely let you know when it will be finished. If you're interested to become a content creator or UGC creator to make money with it, I think it will be a really nice product for you. First thing that I do is the creators community here in Munich. So I've started it with my co-founder, and we already had a couple of meetings where we basically network with each other, learn from each other, share our experiences, our thoughts, our challenges, and basically help each other in the social media space. So these are like the, the four big things that I am doing now. And yeah, so much to myself. I would say that the life in Germany, since I moved here like 3 years ago, almost, yeah, 4 years ago, was definitely not easy. I went through a lot of challenges, which is why I also grew so much personally, which is why at such a young age, I'm 22, I have already quite a clear vision about what I want from life. How I want to do that is another question. For now, I think these things definitely help me to go into the right direction, but it's super important to stay flexible in life, to allow yourself to change the direction a little bit when you see the signs that you should maybe do that. Yeah, and I've talked for the last 15 minutes, so I hope you enjoyed getting to know me a little bit more. I will still need to see this footage because I have the idea that it won't be that good because of the sun, so maybe I need to refilm it, but nevertheless, it was a pleasure to talk to you a little bit more, open a little bit more about myself. And if you have any questions, then as usually, write them in comments. I'm still working on the vlog from Mexico, so I can't promise when it will be out because it's quite a lot of like footage that I need to edit, and I still have this like weekly YouTube videos that I always try to post. So yeah, but still you will see it when it's out, and don't forget to follow my channel, and we will see each other in the next one. Bye!